Welcome to the Totally Insensitive podcast, where we give our real takes on the entertainment industry, politics, pop culture, and more.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Listen, my whole family loves it, man.
They're the first thing I turn on.
Think you can handle it?
Yep, I'm ready.
Well, shut up and sit down, because the show starts right now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Totally Insensitive podcast. I'm your host, Matt. With me again is Jimmy.
Hello. Jimmy this time.
Yep. Well, I have to call you Jimmy this time because we're live from Jimmy's cabin up in the woods.
We are. Let me pre-note that. Never heard it called Jimmy's cabin before. Also, 100% not at all a cabin.
I mean, so
the only thing that makes it a cabin is that it's in the woods,
right.
In the middle of the woods.
What denotes
but it's not a cabin. It's what it's made out of.
Okay.
The style of house.
What if I decide that a cabin's made out of...
No, it's like
the
style.
trailers?
It's saying like this is a ranch. This isn't a ranch. Like a 2-bedroom ranch. Nah.
All right. Well, I guess you caught me on that one.
Yeah. It's a trailer.
I think I've always called it a cabin, though.
No, yeah, you
So have other people.
Yeah.
Mostly people from Alfred.
Yep.
Yeah. But I've been coming up here for a while. Since your freshman year? Yeah. So, 6 years? It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting. You got a lot of land. You got a lot of open property. We go down trails.
I got quads, dirt bikes. In the winter, my family has snowmobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got quite a few acres here.
It's nice. It's quiet.
Yes, in the middle of nowhere almost.
Yep. My only complaint is internet service.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. Yeah.
I'm surprised this is even happening. Honestly. So, I guess we decided to do a live episode just because I think we'd be hanging out this weekend anyway, so it's a lot easier to do a live episode then. I'm also recording, so this show will actually be released, the recording, on Wednesday.
That's when it comes out, yeah.
Yep. So I just got to come up with a goofy name for this episode.
It depends what we talk about.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the cabin and the history of this property.
Well, specifically, usually you name the episodes after
It's
a quote from the show. So
That's
it depends what we specifically say and talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. So how long have you guys been... Your family's been up here for a long time.
Yeah, my dad's grandfather bought the property in 1955, 56, something like that. I don't know if I should look at you or the camera.
Whatever you want, man.
So when he was a kid, he's been coming up here, and it used to be a working dairy farm, and really they had all animals. So he was coming up here as a kid, and in the summers working the farm with all his siblings.
There's a farm?
Well, it used to be a farm.
Oh.
The stone house and the barn.
Interesting.
That was original on the
There is a
property.
lot of open land over there.
Yeah, it's all the fields for where the pastures.
What'd they grow?
Not pastures, dairy, cows.
Oh, they had
Animals.
fucking cows? That's dope.
Yeah.
What happened to all the cows?
I mean, when my grandfather died, no one lived up here full time, so it.
Oh. So they got rid of all the coos?
Yeah.
Oh, poor coos.
Yeah,
So it was just dairy? It wasn't meat and shit?
No, dairy cows. And they had other animals. Horses, pigs, sheep, ducks. He had my great-grandfather, my dad's grandfather, had prize-winning ducks.
Prize-winning ducks?
Yeah. It's one thing I know.
What is a prize-winning duck?
What do you mean? You bring your animals to the fair and, county fair, state fair, show them.
Well, I understand that.
But prizes.
What makes a duck prize-winning? It quacks better than the
how
other
it's
ducks?
kept. It's how it looks, yeah. Not how it quacks, no.
Not how it quacks? Quacks have nothing to do
No,
with
it's how, it's really your upkeep, well-rounded,
So all I have to do is wash my duck?
I mean, you have to treat it.
I wash my duck every day, but it's not prize winning.
I don't know about ducks, all right? I can talk more about, showing horses or cows. Cows, you have to, you walk around and, walk them around and show that they're, tame and not, crazy.
Do you do that with ducks?
I don't know.
I'm really fixated on ducks. I apologize.
I know. I just said I don't know about ducks. I just know he had prize-winning ducks.
Prize-winning ducks.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew you guys, well, not you specifically, but that pond across the road is built by family members.
Yeah, there's like a 20-acre pond, I think it is, across the street. Pond, lake. I don't know what denotes the difference between a lake and a pond. I think
small pond,
size.
big lake? No, small lake, big pond.
Sure. Yeah. But not necessarily building it, but my dad did help clear the trees for it. 20 acres of trees.
What, they just excavate or?
I mean, he cleared the trees, so he cut them down.
Right, but how'd they get all the dirt?
That's, I don't know.
Oh.
Like I said, he just did
I
the
figured
clearing.
you know. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know that much history.
So how long has this cabin been up here?
Cabin.
It's a cabin.
95, 7-ish, 9-ish, maybe.
So it's relatively new.
Late 90s. I mean, it's 20, 25 years old.
It's got wallpaper from the 90s.
Yeah,
So.
it's definitely, it's dated. It's
I
definitely
will say
but,
it's very well decorated.
Yeah, you know.
It's cozy. I've slept on all of these couches.
Yeah.
At some time or another.
Yep, no, me too.
Oh, look, it's Clayton.
Nice.
Hi, Clayton.
Oh, it's up.
So, I don't think... Who's been up here said from Alfred? Me,
Scott,
Jake, and Will.
Jake, Will, Mitch.
That's
Big
it.
Mitch.
Oh, Mitch Rowell. Or
Rockwell.
Rockwell. It's alright,
Yeah,
he's not
should we
watching.
say first and last names?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, we've had some moments up here. Some near misses.
You
Some
know.
close calls.
Yeah.
All around
Flipped
good
a few
time.
quads, wow.
Me specifically.
You know, yeah.
I never broke anything or got hurt.
No, that's good.
Some
It's
close
always
calls,
positive.
though.
Mhm.
I remember the one time when Jake was here. You two were ahead of me, and I was in the back.
Dude, your headlights were just gone.
So you guys gunned it, and I don't know why I was so far behind.
I mean, we weren't really gunning it.
Yeah. I don't know why I was so far behind. But all I knew was I couldn't... This was at night, by the way. All I knew is I couldn't see your taillights.
Yeah.
I could kind of vaguely see lights, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to the light. So I went off the trail.
Nope.
First
Didn't stay on the
mistake.
trail at all.
And I'm going between the trees, and I was totally fine. If I wasn't going as fast as I was, I think it would have been fine. But then that tree popped out of nowhere, so I tried to turn real quick and
Yeah.
flipped and threw me between like two trees that were like maybe this far apart. And then I spent a couple minutes trying to flip it back over till you guys came back.
Yeah. Yeah. We found you.
Eventually.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
There was, the one time I was on my dirt bike, also at night, and it was muddy and rainy. I don't know if you guys know, dirt bikes and mud and rain
Don't really get along.
and like wet grass, like tall grass, don't mix well with the front tire,
No.
like a single front tire.
Nope.
And I went to make a turn, and the bike just completely slid out from under me, and I was still like on the bike, like I didn't have time to jump off, so my leg was fully under the bike, and Jake was behind me, and he like
stopped short.
He stopped short, but his stop short wasn't short enough. He ran over like a good like 3/4 of my back tire, pinned the bike down on my leg, like the peg was like in my ankle, probably cutting me.
And then I came in way too quick.
Yeah, Matt came in hauling, slammed on his brakes, didn't stop short enough, pushed Jake further onto the bike, pinning the bike more on top of me.
Yeah, that
I was
wasn't
like,
good.
hey, you guys want to back up a little bit?
Whoops.
Yeah, that was another one.
I remember very early on, we took one of your cousins back to their house
Oh, yeah.
at night with the
Yeah.
rain. And we were coming back to the trails and the quads, and a giant fucking owl. It had to have been like, 5 foot, 6 foot wide?
Yeah.
Wingspan?
Yeah.
Right over the top of us? Nuts.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Yeah, just like look up and you just see the owl out like this.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I thought it was going to pick us up.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Well,
For like 5 seconds.
you know,
I
short
probably
period of
would have
time.
crap myself.
Yeah.
Not good.
I don't know. How much can owls lift?
I don't know. We got smartphones. How much can an owl lift? How much do you
your
weigh?
service? I don't know. I haven't weighed myself in like fucking years.
Give me a guesstimate.
130, 125. All muscle.
Yeah, me too. Well, what kind of owl was it? What do you think?
Hey Siri, what kind of owls are indigenous to New York?
At
Okay, I found this on the web for what?
Mine says at most 20 pounds. So I don't think that owl would have picked us up.
Nah.
That would have been nice, though.
Could have took like the helmet. Whoa.
It probably wouldn't have ended well. But
Look at that owl.
you have a lot of, like, that is a nice owl.
He's like the hunchback.
You have a lot of, like, there's
Dude,
a
that one
shit
looks like
ton
a
of
turkey.
wildlife up here. Not just owls.
Yeah.
There's, like,
Yeah, I got turkey, I got deer,
coyotes, mountain lions.
coyote. I mean,
Isn't there
no,
one?
supposedly.
Oh.
I don't know. There's been sightings. That's always like skeptical.
What about bears?
Yep, black bear. Definitely black bear all
Yeah.
around.
What is it? Is it brown bears or black bears you're supposed to, like, try and fight and they'll run away?
I don't think either. I think black bears will just naturally run away from you.
I
Where
thought there was one where you're
unless
supposed to,
there's
like,
cubs.
get big and be like, ah.
all bears, if it comes down to it.
Oh.
But probably brown bear because they're more aggressive.
Huh.
And
There's also one of the two you're supposed to just lay down and let it have its way with you. Because if it thinks you're dead, then
Yeah.
it's just going to fuck off.
I think
Sorry.
that's like grizzly.
It might be grizzly. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't hang out
I
with
don't
bears
know.
very often.
Me neither, to be honest. I guess I probably do more than you, but
I don't think I've actually seen a bear in public.
I mean, I've never seen a bear in
Sorry,
public.
not in public, in real life. Just a bear hanging out at Walmart. Oh, hey.
No,
Bullshit.
I've seen a few. They're they're big.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big animals, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy that very much.
Yeah.
I try to avoid big, black, brown bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Good talk.
Jesus. So yeah, so now you have. I think it's really cool that you have this and your family has this, and you're pretty lucky because a lot of people
Definitely.
are stuck in normal places with shit neighbors, and they get their their cars egged.
I mean, this is a normal place for this area.
right for this area.
Yeah. So there's people here that are stuck in their normal place with their shit neighbors and
I
their
guess right, but
shit cars.
compared to where I live,
3 pickups that don't.
I'd
work.
rather live in a place like this than
100%.
where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just shitheads where I live. And they're not 100 feet, 100, what am I trying to say? They're not like a mile away. They're like 10 feet away. So I have to listen to their shittiness and deal with them on a daily basis.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear my neighbor cutting wood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that bad. That's just like,
No, I'm
that's
sure
woods noise.
I'm sure he hears me like quadding.
That's a good point, yeah.
It's just different noises that you have. I don't know.
Hey, do you remember, the porcupine?
Yeah. Let's not.
Long story short, dead porcupine. So, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about the 2 new shows that I'm starting to produce for the network. Do you know anything about him? Did I tell you anything about him?
Not much.
Not much?
No, just
So-
what I heard from being on the show.
Yeah.
My head reads.
So,
I'm just probably going to be this again.
yeah, essentially. So I got 2 shows boiled down. We got logos kind of worked out. We got a bunch of other shit. Working on intros and things like that. I'm pretty sure we have the names down now, so you'll see, advertisements and things like that. And I'm actually going to have them, both the hosts, Sam and Steven, who host the other show, on the show sometime over the next 2 weeks, individually or together. I haven't decided yet. But I want to talk about Sam's show, Happy Ever After Party. And yes, I'm going to be reading because, well, they sent these bios in that I asked them for, and I had to edit them a little. They were all written in first person, so I'm not going to read them in first person, so I had to edit them a little. So Sam and Steven, if you're listening, I apologize. So I want to talk about...
You ruined it.
Huh?
You ruined their reads.
Why?
You changed them.
Right, but now they're my reads. You see how that works?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Sam's show, Happy Ever After Party. So Sam Logsden, the host and creator of Happy Ever After Party. She's a PA resident, Pittsburgh, born and raised there, lives there. She originally went to school for dental hygiene and has an active license. She still does that. But in 2016, she started getting into voice acting. Then she created her podcast. So, side note, her podcast is actually almost 4 years old, but she only ever did 2 episodes because her co-host was too busy and they just didn't have the time. So now we're taking her old show, revamping it, building the right audience for her, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. So her show, I'll just keep reading. Her friend Amanda and herself have been wanting to create a podcast for movie reviews for a while, but didn't just want to talk about movies. Being nerds, they wanted to create something more analytical. Are you correcting grammar? Get out!
I mean, you spelled was wrong.
This is the last time I give you an itinerary.
You put WSAS for was. I mean,
Now I'm confused. Being nerds, they wanted to create something more analytical and connect to something they both enjoy. Recording other people's books for a living, she saw a lot of work derived from other fiction and storytelling. Similarly, Amanda edits books for a living and sees the good, the bad, and the absolutely unreadable. See what I did there? I ad-libbed. Together, they enjoy fairy tales, myth, and lore. So reviewing and analyzing movies and TV based on these things seemed the most logical for them. Since Amanda's life is pretty hectic, as I stated before, Happily Ever After Party is going to be mostly Sam narrating the podcast, with Amanda on occasionally. So, the one thing when I started talking to her about the show is she wanted to call it Happy Ever After Party. But the phrase is Happily Ever After. So at first when she told me about that, I thought it was an accident or a typo or whatever. So I was calling it Happily Ever After Party, Happily Ever After Party. And she corrected me one day and she goes, No, it's Happy Ever After Party. And I go, okay, why? She goes, well, I think the grammatical incorrectness will agitate people and make them want to listen. And I was like, that's a good thought. But I can also see the other side of it, where it'll agitate people to the point where, well, if they can't spell the name of the podcast right, then I don't want to listen. But I mean, either way.
I think people would still listen, because I think people would just read it as a name of a podcast.
That's a good point.
Name of a podcast.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens, because her idea is really good, and she sent me an audio demo. And it's good. She has some good ideas, and she's a voice actor, so she's just naturally good at talking. So
the reason I didn't edit that on the paper is because I already knew that.
Yeah.
That it was meant to be not the
just a grammatical okayness.
Yeah,
In an
it's also a
incorrect-
title, so
correct,
that's
yes.
no. It's like you can't edit someone's name.
Right. Well, what if they spell it wrong?
It's their name.
Like Ashley with a Q
It's their name.
or Michael
That's-
with a B.
That's how they spell it.
Okay.
Can't correct Steven to a V.
What if it is a V?
Then it's a V. And there's nothing to correct to a V.
What if it's a PH balance?
That's what I mean. If it's a PH, then you
Balance.
can't correct it. What?
PH balance?
Like the 0 to 14.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Which one's acidic? 14? I forget which one's which.
I'm pretty sure if it's 0 is basic.
You're basic. So yeah, that's that's Happy Ever After Party. And so that'll be coming out sometime early February.
I wonder how many people my strings are annoying. Well, it's mirrored.
Yeah. Your strings are annoying. Can you fix it? I lost the string to mine. Came out in the wash.
I have a gray string if you want.
No, that's too much work. So the other show, Tinfoil Rabbit Hole, or the Tinfoil Rabbit Hole, Tinfoil Rabbit Holes. We haven't really broken that one down, but something about tinfoil, rabbits, and holes. The Tinfoil Rabbit Hole and the White Rabbit persona allows Steven to deliver a rich and powerful storytelling experience through podcasting. It centers on the oddities, unknowns, and curiosities that occur within our realm of reality. Steven tries to use Wikipedia as a starting point for subjects. While it's not a creditable, citable source in many cases, it does provide a real-time reflection of how our society interprets and accepts the topics he covers. From there, he takes us down the rabbit hole to find the stories that lead us to the strange, dark, and less accepted interpretations. So what I like about his show is his show idea, I should say, is like, for instance, when you sit on YouTube and you go and find a video that you were looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the recommended and you're like, oh, that looks awesome, I'll click that.
You get lost in the...
You just get lost
YouTube.
in the hole. You get sucked in. So that's kind of what his show is going to be a lot about. He's going to start with like
going
some
down
sort
those
of
rabbit holes.
right, some sort of conspiracy or something, and he's going to start on Wikipedia and just follow it on Google and through other media outlets, I'm sure.
Okay.
So
That's interesting.
it'll be cool.
Yeah.
His demo is cool too. He pulls like a very Twilight Zone-esque kind of feel into it. So it's neat. It'll be cool. That
Nice.
one's also coming out early February, so stay tuned for that. And, actually, I think I'm releasing both of their demos sometime next week. So if you want a little preview or snippet of that, definitely go check that out. That'll be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm
I
excited.
tied knots in my strings.
You tied strings into knots,
Nope. I
Yeah.
tied knots.
but it's not a knot. We're just babbling on live stream. You know.
I want to end the conversation now.
Okay. So let's see. Last week, we did
That was a long time ago.
This Week in Twitter News thing.
Oh.
I had done it previously.
Previously
No, previously.
or prior?
Previously. So I think I'm going to do that again. People seem to like This Week in Twitter News. So.
All right.
Plus, we had a good 15-minute conversation about a turtle's penis. So.
We did. We did indeed.
So if you want to listen to that, go back to the last episode. Keep throwing shit off screen. So yeah, let's start on news, because that's always good. Well, I shouldn't say it's always good. It's always not good.
True. You never hear good news
Yeah.
on the news.
China confirms 41 deaths as coronavirus spreads to multiple countries. I want to know
Wow.
why it's a coronavirus. What about, like,
The bat.
the
virus.
bat? Yeah,
That's where you're going with it?
that's exactly where I was going.
All right. Yeah.
I think it's corona, because, like,
But does it start with limes and citrus?
no, it doesn't start with limes or citrus. But I did see a meme where it said how to prevent coronavirus, and it was just a picture of limes.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, it's
Wouldn't-
not scurvy.
It wouldn't be totally false. I mean, I was going to say scurvy, vitamin C.
Jesus. Oh yeah. So that virus is like spreading. There were some cases
That's
in
nuts.
Chicago. There was one reported in New Jersey.
Damn.
Yeah. But the thing I think that the media kind of sucks at is they're very much like portraying it as like, oh, this is really bad. It's like the plague. But it was kind of like swine flu. We talked about this, right?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know who I talked about this though. It was kind of like the whole swine flu epidemic, where the people that were getting sick and dying were like really young kids and really old people, or people with prior medical conditions. So if you already have like a weak immune system, or like
You're more susceptible.
right, which I think is just like, I mean, that's standard for like every disease or anything.
Yeah, it is.
So just take your fucking vitamins.
Eat healthy.
I said fuck too many times.
It happens.
It's alright.
You know.
They can't prove it.
Isn't this a... Yeah.
Shh, don't tell them.
Alright.
Oh, China's also building 2 new hospitals
Hospitals
Mhm.
to deal with coronavirus.
to deal with the coronavirus.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I don't know how long it's gonna.
I feel like, why don't we turn on a light, you fool?
I don't know. Turn the light on. I liked it. It was like
I mean,
creepy. Wow, you can see us.
is that better?
Probably. I mean, no one's actually watching right now, but
Oh.
because there'd be a little eyeball right there.
Oh. Alright.
God, I hope it's still recording. Do you see the new U.S. Space Force logo?
Nope.
You didn't even know about the Space Force thing until a couple weeks ago when I brought it up, right?
I mean, I knew about it. I just didn't... That's cool. I
Oh,
guess.
we talked about their uniforms last week's episode. Yeah. So here's the logo, and this keeps getting memed because people are saying it looks like the logo from Star Trek.
Yeah, it does. I don't even
It's-
watch Star Trek and I know the logo.
Yeah,
I can like see it in that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's also very similar to the Planet Express ship logo
I don't know that.
from Futurama. Bummer, man.
No. It was after my time.
After your time?
Yeah, I don't know. I watched like South Park.
Oh.
Really, that was it. South Park.
I mean,
And then I watched...
South Park has what, 24 seasons?
I don't know.
Futurama
It was
has
in
like
came out in the 90s.
14 maybe. And the last season was like a year ago, so there's some
Yeah.
overlap.
I mean, it was after my time because I watched the shows that my sister watched, and she's like 5 years older than me.
Hmm.
So like when Futurama came out, I was still watching like South Park.
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
The I saw this one the
Like
other
I never got hooked on it.
Yeah, some shows are like that. So I saw this one the other day. The Doomsday clock is now set at 100 seconds to midnight, which is apparently like the closest it's ever been to Doomsday.
Wait, what? I don't understand. How does that work?
So the Doomsday clock is
100 seconds to what?
essentially a clock,
Yeah.
and midnight is like Armageddon.
Okay.
And I guess a group of scientists, like international scientists, basically run it. And however close to midnight it is like the closer it is to midnight, the closer we are to Armageddon, based on like world events and
Okay.
all this other shit that they weigh in. I think the environment even is like one of them. So I'm gonna open the article just as a refresher, but I'm pretty sure. So they moved it to 100 seconds to midnight.
What's the second to actual real lifetime conversion? Because I mean, obviously, 100 seconds is a minute and 40.
It's
seconds.
like a 0 to 10 scale. So imagine that it's at, if 10 was Armageddon, it's at like 9.8.
Right, but what does that mean? Like, it's the closest it's
We're
been.
almost to
Does-
Armageddon.
like a fucking month, or excuse me, like a month,
I don't-
or like 10 years.
I don't think
or
it's like
200 years, because it's like when people say, if you take like the amount of time that humans have been alive on Earth, it would only be like 2 months out of 1 year, like the Earth's lifetime was a full year. Like that, what's the relative to real life?
I don't know why they use a time scale, because I don't think it really has anything to do with time. It's more like, I don't know how to explain it.
So it's just some scientists saying the world's gonna end?
That it's like very, very close to like Armageddon.
But I mean, how can you say that? What's very, very close? What are we talking?
That something could happen to cause Armageddon.
Yeah, I know, obviously. Yeah, that can happen any day. But now there's like, you're saying there's scientific evidence that it's very, very close. What's
Right. Apparently the scientific evidence is like all this shit that's going on with us and Iran, Russia's nonsense.
Nah, I really just care about the time conversion.
I don't know what it is. I don't think there really is a time conversion. I think that means
absolutely nothing.
I think it's just
the world was ended in
comparing.
1963 too.
I think it's just comparing
1912.
tensions, like global tension, to prior global tension, because it was saying like.
I mean, we just had a World War III scare like 3 weeks ago. No shit, I could have told you that then.
So, like, for example, one of the ones I read
buy
was during the Cold War, it was like 4 minutes to midnight was the highest. So even during a point where we thought nuclear war was going to happen soon.
See, that makes sense. Because that puts it in some perspective. Just because I was trained at school that Cold War, it was like super close, super close to like going to war.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you say that was 4 minutes. That's a conversion. See, no, that's a time conversion that I wanted.
All right, well,
you compared it to real life reality.
Something that
Thank
happened.
you. Yes.
So apparently right now, we are closer
but that's
to
not a great one because
war.
it didn't happen. So it's like the 4 minutes was bullshit because
right,
it didn't actually happen.
It went back, it lowered.
Yeah.
But now it's back and worse. It's closer to. Now I don't know if that affects like. It probably has no effect on, or no gauge on like chance or percentage of it actually happening. It's probably just I don't know. I'm kind of curious though. A metaphor for humankind's proximity to global catastrophe. I don't know what that means though.
The comparison. I forgot what the sentence was. A metaphor for human.
What I just read. Proximity to human catastrophe.
Yeah, so.
But what don't catastrophe? Like.
See, you have the same questions I have. Like, what does that mean?
Like, I mean,
like,
if there was a shit ton of tsunamis at once, that's technically
that the
a global
Doomsday?
catastrophe.
Yeah, is that the Doomsday they're expecting?
But how could you?
Because that'll mess up like the tropics. But will that mess up Kansas in the middle of the United States?
But even then, like, how would you predict that? You wouldn't. Like, how would you know it was X seconds to midnight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know.
You wouldn't, because it would just happen.
See, now it's like you're on my side. Now you're like calling it out. You're like,
sweet.
What is this? Yeah.
You'd be in Armageddon. There'd be no time to run and adjust the clock. Huh.
Right. It's like we're past the point of no return. We gotta just accept what's coming, basically.
Right.
Maybe delay it. It'd be nice, but in the meantime, I still drive a pickup truck.
That's a good point. See, right here. Strong earthquake kills at least 22 in eastern Turkey. So is it Armageddon in eastern Turkey?
Could be.
Is it relative? Questions that need answering.
I'm not the scientists.
I'm not the scientists either.
Yep.
But if there are scientists out there,
he said that.
We want to hear from you on the Doomsday Clock. South Korea discharged their first transgender soldier.
Isn't that like a step backwards?
Yeah, but it's South Korea, so they don't take anything.
Right.
It's not America. They don't have... Never mind. I'm going to stop right now. child soldiers as young as 6 are being recruited to fight in Mexico.
I believe that.
Mexico's
Mexico
a
time or two.
shit show. Are your parents still down there?
Nah, they're back.
How was their trip? Did you find them?
Yeah, I did.
You did find them?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I want to see the picture.
That's
Not going to show
crazy.
the camera, but
Did you talk about that on the last show? No.
No, it was after.
It was after. So after our last show, James and I were talking about his parents went to a concert in Mexico, and someone was the venue maybe or the whatever. They were posting pictures of the people at the show, and James was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try and find my parents in all these pictures," and that is your mom.
yeah, that's my dad. The back of my dad.
That's funny as hell. Did you send it to him
Yeah,
while they were down there?
yeah. Look at the whole picture.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, a concert on the beaches of Mexico. Where is it? Cancun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good shit. Hong Kong protests are still going on.
What are they protesting about again?
Basically, it's a bunch of stuff, but the main thing was like China's no longer in control of their government, but the leaders of the Hong Kong, whatever. I don't even know what they had over there. Parliament or whatever.
Okay.
Basically, they can deport anybody they want to China for being a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the people of Hong Kong are saying, well, we're not Chinese citizens, so you can't deport us. So,
Okay. Interesting.
there's a bunch of other shit with that, too. Mostly they're pissed at their government.
Sounds a lot like the Emancipation Proclamation freed all the slaves
Well, a lot of
And-
the...
in the conceding states.
Oh,
The conceding states conceded and didn't follow the American Constitution anymore.
yeah.
So the Emancipation Proclamation didn't free anybody.
Yeah.
It freed slaves in states that didn't follow the laws already. That like made their own laws, like declared themselves their own
Right.
nation in a way.
Yeah. Hong Kong's
Big
a shit show.
misconception.
It got a lot worse in Hong Kong because I'm pretty sure they started using, like the
It's
police
terrible,
started
huh?
using live rounds.
That's never good. Oh man.
But the protesters also started crafting their own weapons.
Fair then.
So-
That's, you got to do what's necessary.
There were like pictures on YouTube. Yep. Pictures on the internet of like homemade bow and arrows and a guy with a giant spoon. Just a giant metal
You
spoon.
going to the Super Bowl?
No, they get the fuck. They were spraying protesters with
Spain?
spraying
Like cutting out the...
protesters
Okay.
with like blue dye, so they could tell who was a protester and who wasn't. And one of the protesters brought up
Like everyone just set up a fire alarm in a school.
one of the protesters
Trying to get the ink thing off a freaking
Oh,
shirt in the
yeah,
store.
One of the protesters had a giant spoon so he could direct it back at the cops. So, you know when you wash a spoon in the sink and it just fucking sprays you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
I gotta
funny.
stop saying fuck. That's awesome. Alright, let's switch to fun. This one's always fun. Old wives' tales debunked.
It isn't like they're found out to not be true.
Yeah, pretty sure that's what a wives' tale is.
Yeah.
You've heard how stress can turn your hair gray. That's true. So it's not a wives' tale. It's a fact. Research shows that stress triggers our nervous system into overdrive, and that can lead to fewer pigment cells.
I mean, I didn't know that was a wives' tale. I thought that was just
Yeah.
like a...
I thought that was common knowledge.
Me too.
Eating chocolate does not cause acne. It's not the chocolate itself, it's the high fat and sugar in candy in general.
I mean, that's like you're picking it apart there. Because you can eat something else that's high fat and sugar and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says they don't want to eat chocolate because they're going to break out. That's absolutely valid excuse.
Yeah,
And
valid.
saying that it's the chocolate.
I'll allow it.
If they say, I'm going to have this type of candy instead of chocolate, then But is other candy, like are Skittles high in fat?
No, but they're high in sugar. They're 100% sugar.
Yeah, but that's what acne is when it's high in fat and sugar.
That's a good point. What if it's
So
fat
it's-
or sugar? Is
I don't
that,
know.
is that the argument you're trying to make?
Nah, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying that there's no need to break it down to the fat and sugar. If someone says they don't want to eat chocolate, then that's fine. Because they're going to break out, that's a valid
Yeah,
excuse.
that's a good
The
point.
chocolate's going to make them break out. Whether it's the fat and sugar in the chocolate, maybe it's not even the fat and sugar in the chocolate. Oh boy. Maybe
It's a lot of
it's not even
vegetables.
like the fat and the sugar in the chocolate. Maybe it's like the milk in the chocolate and they're lactose
Yeah. Could be.
allergic.
Alright, okay.
You know?
Sure. I don't know enough to argue one way or the other, so.
I just pulled that out of my ass. I have no idea. But it sounds, I mean, I think that's that's logical to me.
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
that's what I base all my arguments off of is logic that I think is sound.
Oh, here's another one. Feed a cold, starve a fever. You ever heard that one?
Nope.
No. So I won't talk about it then. A penny drop from the Empire State Building could kill you.
Wait, what?
A penny dropped from the Empire State Building could kill you.
Is that a wives' tale or a fact?
That is the wives' tale, but I'm going to read the
See, I always
fact.
thought that was a fact.
Pennies are flat and light and tumble as they fall, so they can't gain enough speed to drill a hole in your head. They can't reach terminal velocity because they'll...
I actually think Mythbusters tested that.
Yeah.
I don't
they
remember
did.
if it was true or false by
I
them.
don't remember.
But still, again, I didn't know that was a wives' tale. I thought, I don't know.
I don't know either. Humans only use 10% of their brains. It's false. The truth is that our entire brains are constantly active even while sleeping. Carrots improve vision. I know this one's bullshit. While the veggie does contain vitamin A, which is good for healthy eyes, eating lots of them won't help your peepers. They even use peepers.
Nice. Interesting, I guess.
Turkey makes you tired. While turkey does have an amino acid that can make you tired, so too do other foods, and they don't put you to sleep. Well, I thought turkey had tryptophan though.
I don't know. What?
Tryptophan?
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I just heard that it makes you tired.
Alright.
That's it. That's all the old wives' tales. Let's see. There's another animal one. Fiona the hippo is getting showered with birthday best wishes.
How old is she?
Let's find out.
I don't get it.
She's 3.
Where is she a hippo at?
Cincinnati Zoo.
Who cares?
She was born at 6 weeks premature.
Who cares?
Happiness, James.
About an animal that you took out of the wild and put in a cage? Or even worse, took their parents out of the wild and made it born in a cage?
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, don't give it, pity birthday parties.
Let it go home. Go to your home. Don't
It's
you want to go home?
Yeah, that's messed up. I don't know.
Yeah. Now I feel bad. I mean, I didn't put it in the zoo,
No, I know.
but people like me did.
Do they?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming so.
I was just curious.
It's Squirrel Appreciation Day. Did you show your squirrel appreciation?
Nope.
Didn't give him any nuts?
I don't know a squirrel.
No.
Again, who cares? I don't know.
Apparently, January 20th was Penguin Awareness Day. Which I never understood, because isn't everyone aware of penguins?
What? Yeah, I mean, what are we being aware of? For?
Learn more about the beloved species. This is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I gotta wait till next year now because I missed it. So,
Yeah. So,
Damn.
can't appreciate it.
Nope. Penguins, you're gonna have to wait.
A live-action remake of Bambi is coming. And yes, there is a scene where Bambi's mom gets shot.
Interesting.
So that would be cool.
All right.
Apparently it's stressing people out.
Live out. It's a movie. Like, come on. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't want your kids to see it, don't take your kids there. Make them be uncultured.
That's a good point. We are raising sensitive children. Do you remember the TV show Punk'd?
Yeah.
They're doing a reboot.
Are they?
Chance the Rapper's the host.
He's pretty funny. That'd be sick.
He has a goofy look, and
Yeah.
there's like he makes funny videos. You can find him on YouTube, and he's a goofball. I think he'd be good.
Yeah. That would be pretty sick. If they throw that on like Hulu, I'd watch it.
Yeah,
Up
I
in
don't
the woods,
know.
you got no cable either.
No cable. Well, I don't have cable.
Yeah, you don't have cable because you
Which-
don't pay for a box. I don't have cable because I don't have cable run.
That's true.
There's a difference.
Will air on the upcoming American short-form mobile video platform Quibi.
I missed like 80% of that. I got like short form mobile platform and Quibi.
It will air
Air?
on the upcoming American.
Like Nike Air? I'm so stuck on the air.
It'll be on.
Got it. Wait, what is it though? A show?
It's Punk'd.
Oh, we're still on that?
Yeah.
I thought that conversation ended.
No. You were asking if it was on Netflix. I'm telling you it's not. It's going to be on Quibi.
What the fuck's Quibi?
I don't...
Hex
God,
Quibi.
I fucking hate you. Quibi is an American short-form mobile
Alright,
video
well-
platform.
You obviously didn't know either if you would just have to go look at it.
Because I wanted to read it. I wanted to quote it,
Uh-huh.
James. God damn it. Why do I do this? You stress me out.
Maybe I'm just being conscious of our listeners who might not know what Quibi is, who might be listening to this as they drive or something and don't have the time to
No
look
one's
it up.
listening to this while I drive. There's one person watching.
Didn't you say we're recording this and sending it out Wednesday?
Oh, yeah. This comes out Wednesday.
Come on.
You think I listen to myself?
I'm just being no.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
being
listen to
conscious
myself.
of other people.
I also saw this, that
Hey,
Mr.
listener.
Mr.
Watch
Peanut
it.
died.
From Planters?
Yeah, but I don't... Is Mr. Peanut a real person?
I mean, probably the dude that voiced him in the commercials back in the day.
Mr. Peanut dies in the Planters Peanut Super Bowl. Fuck. 45 commercial, in which he attempts to save the lives of Wesley Snipes and Matt Walsh.
So the animated character dies in a commercial?
Yeah. He's 104 years old.
Good for him.
I don't understand how... I don't get it. I hate companies.
I don't get how that's news.
It's like saying Elmo died. Elmo's not dead.
No.
Someone just got tired of Elmo. I think what they're gonna do is like change the logo or change their mascot.
Alright.
But what I mean, Mr. Peanut's the shit.
They're gonna make it a cashew?
Mr. Cashew, Mr. Almond.
Yeah. But also, why is that in the news?
I don't know.
Like, let people figure that out themselves. Like, by watching the commercial.
Because people are bored and entertainment
Make a big
is
deal about it.
entertainment is news now.
Wow.
My ass is sweating. These leather seats are something.
That's a you problem. Mine's like leather. That one's weird. That one,
Oh, your
Like-
chair's nicer than mine.
yeah, no, like, look, see the foot, like,
Oh, yeah, that doesn't happen.
nah.
Huh.
That one's like,
Weird.
that one's quality pleather. This
This
one's
is-
just pleather.
This is nice. This is a nice chair. This is chit.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I think that about wraps it up this week. Thanks for listening. This was an interesting live episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my other thing is actually recording.
Hope so.
So I'm
Find
not
out
doing
when.
another episode for Wednesday.
True.
So if
I
you
mean,
guys,
this looked like it's saved right to Facebook, so there's definitely a way you could export this
oh
from
yeah,
Facebook.
probably.
And post it.
So if you guys want to listen to this episode again, the full episode, or any other episodes, I think we referenced a few this episode. Go to the website. You can also follow the podcast, Totally Insensitive Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all the other shits. Just go look. Not hard to find. There's links on the website if you have trouble finding it.
Use the resources around you.
Mm-hmm.
Be creative.
Be educated.
Take 8 steps instead of 2. Try it out.
What if I want to take 3 steps?
You can do it in 3. Do it in 3.
Okay. If you can do it in 3, do it in 3. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt.
Make up your own steps. 1 step can be turning on your computer. 2nd step can be opening up Windows. 3rd step can be typing in the network address.
That is 3 steps.
There you go. Or if you don't like that, 1 step can be like opening up Google, then typing in the network address, and like clicking play. Or hitting enter.
Yeah.
Depends where you want your 3 steps to end or start.
That's a good point. Yep. So that's insensitivenetwork.com. Go on there. Be ready to see some stuff about the 2 new shows, Happy Ever After Party and Tinfoil Rabbit Hole. And yeah, that's all I got. All you got?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk at you next week.
Good talking.
See ya.